How, did you go in that direction to find out? Was it because of your product you didn't go in that direction?
No,
or?
I would say maybe because the idea came while I was outside the country. But I knew the best place, and I'm saying it categorically, the very best place for you to thrive sometimes is in an environment like ours. Because that other environment that we are coming from is saturated.
In the abroad?
Yes, it's saturated, and you just need to be very realistic with yourself.
Okay.
For me, I chose an area whereby I decided not to do some things that other people were doing. And number one is probably going to rent a shop when I start business. I decided to look at the space. How do I reduce my cost of operation? Because that's one major thing that has destroyed a lot of companies. A lot of companies make so much noise. You find out that they open the store in their first year. The second year, okay, they're just there. The third year, they're struggling. The fourth, fifth year, they are down. But the noise was there in the first year. Now, sometimes my former boss used to tell me that, look, if you haven't run your business for 5 years consistently and the business giving you very good revenues to a certain level, then you've not started running a business.
Would you advise someone to shut down a business that does not really bring back that much revenue? How do you know the difference between closing a business and sticking and being consistent? Okay,
let me just say, I will have to take you back because I said something about ideas. There will always be a pound of ideas. Look for the most bankable idea. In the first place, we already know that our environment, we tend to kind of have, you want to go into so many things at the same time. But if you can streamline by what I have done, in example, by carving in each. Now, carving in each helps you to focus on one thing. So when you're struggling, then you know if your initial research and strategy was right or wrong. So easily you can pull out. But when you've dipped your hands in too many things, you end up probably giving your, all the investment, you know,
and stretching yourself.
And you'd have stretched yourself out of limit.
Now, investment.
Yeah.
How did you raise your capital? I mean, the entrepreneur journey is, oh, your friends, your family borrow you money, you have to liquidate something, but what role does finance play in the entrepreneurial journey? How important is finance? Some argue that it's not that important. So how important is it?
It's important. And at the same time, I will also buy the idea that it's not that important. Now, it's important because it kind of gives you a leverage to a certain level. It's not important because sometimes when the finances are there, you sometimes find it difficult to actually think deep to areas where you know you are really... Exactly. But I think in all fairness, let's be very sincere. How did I raise my capital?
Yeah.
Number one, you have to be very realistic. Savings. I had little savings when I came back. I wasn't working at the level whereby I was going to get a whole lot of points. But at the same time, at least I had something because I was relocating. Of course, you expect me to have spent money on several things. And at the same time, I got into FCMB when I first came. So one thing that was pure was the Yorubas call it ajo. The Igbos will call it, probably Igbos call it esusu or something. Contribution. Yeah, with me and with my fellow friends that we came back from, you know, different part of Europe. Then we had this contribution that we usually do at the end of the month. And as a Yoruba man, and probably as a typical Nigerian that I've always been, it was a very good way to contribute without, you know...
Going to the bank?
Going to the bank.
Did you go to the bank?
The bank will always be the last place to go.
But did you ever use
now, I've never approached the bank.
Why?
I used to work for...
You used to work in that industry? So
I used to work in the industry. And I think I had... Or should I say, I have a level of intelligence in terms of what the bank will be requesting from me. So before the bank would start asking for an arm and a leg, I guess I needed to also start very small. And I think this is a very, very big discussion. Starting very small is very complicated, but it's the best way to go about it.
Now, the government obviously has a role to play. In your particular story, I don't think there's any government involvement, but there's some people that have been able to succeed. So what do you think, I mean, is the Nigerian government friendly towards business?
The truth is...
Or startups, let me put it that way.
For me to be candid, the government hasn't helped. Although there are different channels that a very good example is the Lagos State government bringing in all sort of ways to help entrepreneurs.
Or
and
the
stuff
Bank of
like,
Industry.
Yeah, the Bank of Industry. But for me, I didn't, maybe because I was so blessed that I got my strategy right. And I started very small by allocating my resources efficiently. And where you also said the government, of course, I deal with FX. So I had to understand that for every 1 naira, at that point, I couldn't keep money in my account because I know that for every naira I was keeping, it was against the dollars. So I had to try and buy more. Yes, I have a finance background, which helped me to know that, okay, for every naira I was having, I needed to convert on time. And the moment I was converting on time, it's just like the stock market. You keep buying more, then when the price drops, before you even sell, you can buy more. buy more. What it means is that, you average out.
In a way, you had alternative revenues of income, if I can use that word, because that was another way of increasing money.
Well, but at the same time, don't forget that we import. But we import, whether you like it or not, you can't take the government out of it. But because the question was, how are the government impacting us? The government is really impacting us with a lot of negative things.
Let me even pause on the comment. I just want someone to be able to take something away. Now, looking back with all the knowledge you have, what is the biggest mistake you think you made?
Oscar, do you want me to be
very quick, because we need to round up, but I want to get that.
I don't think I regret, and I don't think I've made much, or should I say, mistakes. Why? Because I think I have the best resource in terms of my wife being a huge support. Yeah. With her experience, it's unimaginable. So I guess we bounced ideas to make it easier for us.
Thank you very much. I'd love to talk more, but congratulations on your journey so far. I wish you all the best. We'll be back on Rubbin Minds, and this time taking a look at the issue of flooding. It's that time of the year. Are we prepared for what is ahead? Stick around and find out. Just